Zach, you touched on something, man. I want to circle back to
Mhm.
uh, being invited to your head coach's house because I think a lot of times we lose the perspective, right? That Deion Sanders on one hand is our head coach, but he's
Mhm.
also Deion Sanders, the celebrity, right? And
Mhm.
so this is not just a normal house visit, but as you put it, it's rare for players to even go to their head coach's house, just period, let alone a celebrity home.
Exactly. I mean, it just shows that everything we do here is different. You know, everything we do is unique. Everything we do is special. And I knew that. The first time I set foot on campus. And I wanted to be different, and I wanted to choose different, and so that's why I came here, um, and that's what's still happening, man. I mean, it's my fifth year, and this is the first time I've ever been to my head coach's house.
Memphis 10 in this joint, man. All the way here.
Memphis 10,
Memphis 10 in this
Dirty
joint,
Dime.
man. You already know what's up. Look, Uncle Neely in the house.
Let's go pregame show from New Orleans, all the way from New Orleans. Hey.
Hey, y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. It is Uncle Neely and the Pregame Network, joined by Mate and Zach. We're going to talk Country Prime's retreat. Coach Prime recently had a retreat for his players. These two were selected to be there among some others. We're going to get to the nitty gritty and find out what it's like to be a Country Prime to spend time on the ranch. How you guys feeling, man?
Going good, Unc. Feeling good. Had a great time out there, and yeah, we're going well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was unbelievable experience, man. It's something that I will never forget for sure.
So, what was it like, to be selected when you got notified? And both of you can answer individually. When you got notified that you were selected as a team leader to go to this players leadership retreat at Country Prime.
Go ahead, man. I mean, yeah, it was super cool. Obviously, it was like a bit shocking. Like, oh, like I've never been to like my head coach's house, or let alone his whole ranch, his whole property, and I didn't really know what to expect, but everything was super organized and planned, and that's just a huge shout out to our coaching staff, man, and all the great people Coach Prime has around him. Made everything go super smooth, and yeah, it was just an unbelievable experience. So
Yeah, no, I was stoked to be selected. I think it's good recognition of where Zach and I both stand within the program and within the coaching staff, and to be able to develop our leadership skills and develop relationships, with guys that they see as leaders on the team as well was something that's going to be really beneficial for the both of us and for that group of guys that were away, and then as well for the team and as a whole. We've learned a lot of things, and it was a real honor to head out to Coach Prime's ranch, but a real honor to be a part of that group too.
Zach, you touched on something, man. I want to circle back to
mhm.
uh, being invited to your head coach's house because I think a lot of times we lose the perspective, right? That Deion Sanders on one hand is our head coach, but he's
Mhm.
also Deion Sanders, the celebrity, right? And
Mhm.
so this is not just a normal house visit, but as you put it, it's rare for players to even go to their head coach's house, just period, let alone a celebrity home.
Exactly. I mean, it just shows that everything we do here is different. You know, everything we do is unique. Everything we do is special, and I knew that. The first time I set foot on campus, and I wanted to be different, and I wanted to choose different, and so that's why I came here, um, and that's what's still happening, man. I mean, it's my fifth year, and this is the first time I've ever been to my head coach's house, so it was unbelievable, man.
What we and mate, you talked about the experiences being there. Take us through like arrival. What was day one like?
Yeah, day one. So we all sort of made our way out there from the airport. It was pretty hot out in Texas. I've never been out there, and that was a different heat. So we made our way out there on some sprinter vans all together, and got to Coach Prime's ranch, and a little bit of a time in the pool there and playing some basketball and a bit of tennis, and a few of the boys went fishing. So we sort of got there around 4 o'clock and went through a few of those activities, and some dinner time there as well. But it was just a few hours of socializing and cooling off in that pool from that heat. Um, but yeah, Coach Prime sat us down there for a little bit towards the end as well, and did a bit of a Q&A with him. And it was Coach George got up there and spoke to us as well, and sort of set the tone of what the next few days was going to consist of. But yeah, that first day was a little bit more laid back and just sort of settling in and getting a feel for Coach Prime's ranch and taking it all in. And then it was a pretty quick day one. It was.
Zach, I have to imagine, and make you feel free to answer this as well, that to some degree you don't know what you've gotten yourself into. And so you're
No,
going to this,
yeah,
this once in a lifetime experience of
mm,
not just being at your head coach's house, but your head coach is Deion Sanders, and
mm,
the pool, the basketball courts, the four wheelers, the horses. I mean, you name it. But then it gets down to business and what you guys are there for. What were
mhm.
some of your takeaways and experiences from the speakers, who were there to pour into you guys?
Yeah. I mean, all the people he brought in is well. First of all, I want to touch on everyone that was there is the best at what they do, or was the best at what they do. Our coach doesn't hang around anyone that's average, and like that's one thing that I took in. Like even the fishermen that took us out on the boat are pro fishermen. Like this dude doesn't hang out with anyone average, and like there is nothing average about him or who he puts himself around with. And I think that was like just the coolest thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, just to answer your question, one of the biggest lessons, man. I mean, when when um when we were talking to Jalen Ramsey, man, I mean that whole conversation was just worth $1 million. Like it really was. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, he talked about everything that we were there for. Communication, teamwork, working together, man. How to bring other guys along, leadership. I mean, I learned more from Jalen than really I have. Really anyone else in a long time. Like honestly, that was one of the best talks I've ever been given. So
Yeah, no, I think there was a lot to take away from it all, because like Zach said, the guys he brought in, they're the best to do it. And two of his teammates, Nate and Tony, came in and gave us a perspective of what it was like when they were playing, winning 3 Super Bowls themselves, and being at the top. And some of it was not all smooth to get to the top for them. So to hear about what they've been through in the league, and obviously to then be a teammate of Coach Prime as well, one of the greatest to ever do it. It was really good to get an insight into all of that. But then, yeah, like Zach said, Jalen's, the messages he got across to us, there was so many things you could take away from it. But I think one of the big takeaways for me was, especially as a leadership like component to it, just, being a leader is a lonely thing. But, once you get a group of guys who are leaders of a team, and working together and building a leadership and a culture, and a standard within a team as a group of leaders, is something that's really effective. And that's what he said he was able to do and is still doing at the highest level. And that's why he's been a part of successful teams and been a successful player himself. So yeah, there were many things we learned, but that was one thing that stuck out to me.
You guys touched on something, and Zach, you kicked it off, that Coach Prime doesn't hang around average people, that he doesn't surround himself with average people, that the people he's around are winners. Do you guys ever stop and reflect that includes you? Because when you think about that, not only has he handpicked you to be on this football team, you were also cherry picked to be a part of this leadership retreat. And so going back to the beginning about what it was like to be selected, when you get there and see that he doesn't associate with average people. What kind of confidence does that give you going into the season of how he sees you and believes in you?
I mean, huge confidence, man. I mean, he's believed in me from day one, and he's really been him and his whole staff have been unbelievable in how they've helped me grow and in my leadership off the field and on the field. So having him believe in me is truly special, and I think if you get offered from Colorado, then he has personally watched your film and he believes in you. It's really that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Coach Prime, and you know the honor, like I said, to be selected in that group and selected to be a part of it was something that's really special. And like I said, it's a recognition to me as an individual, but the group as a whole. Without the coaching staff and Coach Prime has that trust in us and has that belief that we've got what it takes, and to have that going into the season, is something that is really valuable to me, and I take with a lot of confidence. And like Zach said, Coach Brian's had my back since I walked through the door, and I know that's never going to go away. And it's just an honor to have him as a coach and to be around him and the coaching staff and the team as well, because we've all been hand selected by Coach Prime and the coaching staff, and we're going to be able to build something pretty special.
Well, I talked to Coach after you guys were getting ready to depart, and he was big on how he felt strongly what a success the retreat was with this particular group, and his takeaway and his desire from it all was, of course, not just to pour into you guys who were there, but that you become disciples of sort and go back to the team and share with the team what you've learned, and kind of help be player leaders on the team with the rest of the fellows who weren't there. How do you see your role in that? And is that something you're willing to embrace, to take what you've learned from a Jalen Ramsey or doing the horseback riding or whatever it was, and make sure the other guys in the locker room who weren't physically there, they get the same information?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think if everyone that was there, if we just take one person and make an impact on them, then it spreads throughout the whole team. Then that person makes an impact on the next person, and it just rolls over. So, that's what I'm looking forward to do when we get all the guys back. Just make an impact on one person, man. So,
yeah, absolutely. That's very similar to how I'm looking at it. But I think as well, the guys that were there on that retreat, like I said about what Jalen Ramsey said, it's a group of leaders that are going to impact the team and build a culture and build standards within a team. And, if we all work together to, take one guy or two guys and sort of teach them what we've been taught, and impacting them in the way that Jalen said he does with his team, and Nate and Tony as well, and then obviously Coach Prime. If we're able to do that and spread it throughout the team, it's going to be really effective. So it's our role now. It was an absolute honor and a great experience to have gone to Coach Prime's ranch, and I've heard from him and his teammates and Jalen and some really important people in the NFL world. But it's our job now to take that and spread it throughout the team and make an impact through the team now.
Hey man, love all that. Great responses. Let's go out with this one. We talked about the speakers and everything that you guys have learned from it, but from the fun side, what was to each of you your most fun activity out there with Coach Prime?
Man, that's tough.
That is.
We did shooting, we did ATV riding, and we did horseback riding. To be honest, I haven't ridden a horse since I was like 5. I thought that was so cool. And I mean, I thought that was just awesome. And one day I'm gonna get me some horses now. So
No, it was Zach said, there were a lot of things we did that were a very enjoyable time. But I'm sure everyone's seen the photo of me riding around on that horse. Apparently, yeah, I look pretty similar to it. And Coach Prime I've never seen him laugh so hard about something like that. And I was like, I was riding the horse and I didn't think much about it. And only until I saw that photo, you know, it made me really realize that I did look pretty similar to her. So we had a good time with that. But yeah, it's hard to nail down one of them. I think the fishing was a great time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Zach and I were standing out on the bank with each other, and we had a good day there to finish the Monday. And yeah, it was awesome. A lot of boys caught a fish for the first time, and yeah, it was just a good experience doing the fishing. But yeah, I could say all of them were an enjoyable time.
Man, what a memory to make catching a fish for the first time and doing it in Country Prime. All right, football question for you guys. Spring ball is behind us. You got June strength and conditioning behind us. We're getting into July strength and conditioning as well as some PLP stuff. How's your summer been going? How ready or anxious are you to get to fall camp on August 2nd?
Yeah, I mean, I think summer's been awesome. I've had some classes that I've had to do. So I'm glad that's out the way and I can just focus on ball now. Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I can't wait to get back with all the guys and start working out again, man. There's really nothing like the environment that Coach Swayze and his staff, his whole staff make. So I can't wait to get back, man.
Yeah, the summer's been great. It's been some tough work. Swayze isn't messing around, so we're going to be fitter and stronger because of that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into fall camp. You know, for Zach and I both, it's the last season, and you know, it's going to be the last fall camp and the last summer workout. So, you know, making the most of that right now. But get me to day one of fall camp, and I'm I'm going to be ready to go. So can't wait for the season ahead.
And you know, I thought that was my last one, but I got one more because I just got to know this. I've seen quarterbacks and receivers, I've seen running backs and offensive linemen, I've seen DBs. How the hell does a punter and a tight end become besties? Like, where does this happen?
Well, I think it started because he transferred from KU, right? My hometown is 40 minutes from KU, from Lawrence, so we knew a lot of the same people, and then we both came in to here at the same time to Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I mean, it's really just, he's one of my boys, man. I can't talk enough about how much he means to me and how much he means to the team, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that was exactly what my response would have been too. You know, a lot of mutuals, the connection between Zach and Kansas and I, and then one of my best mates too as well, and you know, mates for life now because of that. You know, I got to stay on his good side because he's the one blocking for me. So maybe if we get, you know, if we ruffle the feathers, he might just let the guy go by, and I'll be flat on the back. But he's blocking in front of me. But it's just that, yeah, little things like that have brought us really close together, and you know, mates for life for sure. So yeah.
Zach, mate, I appreciate your time, man. I know the audience is going to love this, and we'll be there fall camp, ready to get it going again. Much love to you, brothers, and glad you got selected to go to that players retreat, and glad to hear that you got so much from it.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir,
Appreciate you, Unc.
Always, man. Appreciate you.
Tara C. Harris, managing partner of the Cochran firm Jackson, is one of the premier litigators in the United States. Dedicated to furthering the values of Johnny Cochran, Harris believes attorneys have a duty to restore voice to the silenced and give justice to the wrong.
The reason that you are a member of the Cochran firm is that you share my commitment to excellence to our clients.
Harris's success is credited to a set of core values shared by his team of attorneys, professionals, and staff.
You've proven to me that you care and you want to do the best job for all of our clients.
I'm here to make sure that they have a voice.
Named one of the top 10 trucking lawyers with a $150 million settlement, Terrace Harris continues to prove that he is committed to obtaining the best possible outcome for his clients.